So, good morning. I won't put any cats in this video, I don't think. But this is a serious topic for me. So I had a challenge when I was on Twitter, when I allowed me on other channel. It was psychology and things like that. I had a challenge, and I had many psychologists and psychiatrists and doctors follow me over there on this one theory alone, because this is all I kept pushing, is that I would bet. When I say bet, nothing illegal, I would put forward a donation to wherever they like, whatever amount they choose, if they could prove me wrong about my amygdala theory. The amygdala, as you look at the screen here, so I have three scales here. I have green, yellow, and red. I've changed this to make it a little more simple for the simple-minded people. Green, yellow, and red, like a stoplight. I said that simple-minded thing because it makes you try. That was data, and you might have made a conclusive file that quickly and said, he's calling people simple-minded. All right, that's going to prove my point in a moment. So green, yellow, red, stop sign, like red light, traffic signals. All right, so green is data. Yellow will be this is the color yellow, so if you think it's a different color, mustard, that's your amygdala again, but let's just go with yellow. A conclusive file, and I put S, because you can have multiple conclusive files with the same data. Once you make a conclusive file or files, you can make another file if you're smart. Now, this is not a tease. If you're not being smart, I want you, if you're smart, you'll make a file that says, along with this file, whatever file you make, that I leave open, that new data may come and change my file. You must do this, unless it's something simple as 2 plus 2 equals 4. That's the given at this point. So we don't change 2 plus 2 equals 4. There is not open for discussion. Nor is it open for discussion that we're male and female. The people that try to open up for discussion, they have an agenda. And with that said, that's another thing over here. People with an agenda, you'll see in this comment that I'll put down here, with an agenda, you're wasting your time with. You're just wasting your time with. Remember, life is a lease. Look at my mouse. Life's lease. It's your lease. Don't bother with people with agenda. If someone keeps telling you they're a carrot and you must respect them and call them a carrot, you have mental illness if you call them a carrot. All right? The joke is the psychiatrist, and you've heard this from me before. He's working at the state hospital, and he goes in there and he sees the two patients kind of lollygagging around. He says, "Look, you know what? I need you guys to be active. So I tell you what, Charlie and Tom, come here. You two come over here. I'm going to get you to sweep the gym." So that he takes them down to the gym, and he leaves them there to do the work, and he leaves. So the psychiatrist comes back hours later checking on him, and he sees nothing's been done. In fact, one of them's missing. I don't know, Charlie, Tom, whatever. Charlie's missing. So he says, where's Tom? Where's Charlie, he says. He says, Charlie left. He says, why did he leave? The psychiatrist asks. He says, because he thinks he's a light. He says, he thinks he's a light. He says, He says, well, Tom, how come you're not working? How come you're not sweeping the floor? And Tom says, well, I can't work without no light. So you see what happens there? That is the end of the joke, and it's a serious thing. You can't just feed into these people. You are that joke. If you start feeding into it, you are the person. If the person believes he's a light, you can't work without any light. In fact, it might get quite aggressive with their amygdala if they really think they're a light and you're working and they didn't present their light to you, put you in the light, and you're working in the dark in their mind, in their mental illness. They may literally attack you because you are doing something that's contrary. You can't work without a light, and they believe they're a light. So this is why these people are deranged, mentally deranged. It's not just an agenda, but they're mentally deranged, and that's because the teaching in the school programmed them that. It's mental illness programmed. All right, you can program mental illness. We all know that if you have a narcissist family member that abused you, etc. You know that you can program some mental illness, which includes codependency on that person that's treating you bad, or you helping someone out all the time and they still treat you bad. That's another form of codependency. That's another thing. You can look it up and see if you fall under it somewhere and blow your mind. All right. So the amygdala, we're told, is the caveman part of our brain. Remember, this was on my Twitter page. Not one doctor, psychiatrist, or psychologist has been able to take $1 from me on this. Not one. Because I state that the amygdala is a very petty, first off, it's very petty. It's a petty bitch. It is a petty bitch. So I forgot to put that down there. And I don't know how to spell petty. So petty bitch. All right, let's do that. Now, did I spell petty correct? Did I spell it correct? Does it bother you? Oops. The amygdala is a petty bitch. Yeah, that sucks. Even I know that sucks. The amygdala is a petty bitch. I know the color should be in the red range, but let's do that. That means it doesn't care. It's so petty. Anything that you own. So let's start from the beginning here. You have data. Everything you see is just data. From data, it's just raw information. And we have made no conclusive file, or will make a conclusive file from this data. All right, so it's just data at first. And then as you get the data, you start making conclusive files. If somebody says 2 plus 2, I didn't tell you to give me the answer. But you might say, well, you wanted the 4. You said 2 plus 2. You could only have wanted the answer of 4. No, all I said was 2 plus 2. But yes, it forces you in your brain. So see the programming? When I say 2 plus 2, I trigger part of your brain. The amygdala says, when I hear those 2, I have to add the number 4 to it. 2 plus 2. I never said equal. All right, just wanted to prove a point to you that it's that petty. And I don't want you to tell me what it equals. 2 plus 2. And are you making the answer? Did you keep still making the answer? It's the amygdala with its conclusive files. It's so the smallest programming has been done. All right, so from the data, and data makes conclusive files. And with that, we can have multiple conclusive files of the same data. You're like, it could be this, could be that. You need more information to lock it down to finally where you say, it's only this now. All right, this is denying death. Person, you're like, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And then finally you realize the person's going to die or you're going to die, and you accept it as one conclusive file. I'm going to die. Okay, but initially you may not. So the amygdala is not a caveman belief. It's still used from the caveman days. It's leftover. It makes you angry. No. The amygdala is a petty bitch, and it protects all files. All files, including 2 plus 2. It protects everything the human owns. And this may be you putting your toothbrush down in a certain place in the bathroom. And then I come behind it and I move your toothbrush over to another place. You come in there looking for your toothbrush. You see your toothbrush. Clearly you can claim it now at the new location. But it's pissed you off. You come out. Why'd you touch my toothbrush? Why'd you move my toothbrush? Are you like that movie, Sleeping with the Enemy? Are you crazy for being upset over me moving your toothbrush, moving your towels, like a Sleeping with the Enemy movie was based on? Or is it you have no choice? I call it temporary insanity, because your amygdala will take over and start going, wow, because somebody moved it. That's like you sitting down on the couch, and then when you get up, I grab your cushion that was behind your back, and I put it across the room and put it on another chair. I just do that. And when you come back, it's gone, and you start getting upset. It was your cushion. You had it there. Why would you move it? I was using it. You start getting into a battle with me. You see the cushion. You can go grab it. The amygdala protects everything you own, including that you put that cushion there for your comfort. And instead of just grabbing the cushion and moving it over, you get into a long battle with me about, why did I move your cushion? Am I attacking you? Why would you do that? Blah, blah, blah. We have favorite spoons and forks and knives, favorite plates, favorite glasses. All right, it's a lot of shit that we accumulate that we don't know that the amygdala will protect. I protect my cats. My cats, I don't quite own them. I take care of them. But if someone was to attack any of those stray cats or attempt to, they got to go through me. All right, they got to go through me to the death of me. In other words, I will fight to that cat, not up to a point, but to the death. All right, not up to a point, but to the death. for all my cats. So I value their life and what that they depend on me for protection, and they get that protection up to including my life. All right, you're not gonna hurt my animals if if I can stop you. You're gonna have to, up to my life. That's how much some things we protect. Now, I won't protect you scratching my car. I won't harm you. I won't. I don't think you deserve the death penalty or shooting at you because you're scratching my car up right in front of me. Got insurance for that, covered. I've already run that analysis. It's not worth killing you. You break into my house, not worth killing you if I can control you, get you down, control your actions, get you down on the ground, see if you got an ID. I've already got a scenario for that. ID, back, get you on your feet, get you spread eagled out, relax, calm down, nothing stressful. Let you know that I'm in control here and that you don't want this to end badly. Everything's going to turn out okay for you. And just calmly get the person down there. There's no reason for me to execute, even though I have a right to kill them for entering my house like that. I don't have a file that says I'm going to execute you because of that. I'm gonna take care of you. And of course, if you come towards me, I'll do whatever it takes. But that's not my first goal. You're gonna have to really push it for me to kill you if you break into my house. You've got to be pushing it. All right. But if you touch my cats, you try to kill my cats, you've crossed the line. Now I'm willing to put myself in between my cats and you and I, and now I'm defending myself. So now it's a whole nother game. Isn't that amazing? If it's just me only, so it's a elevation. All right. So the amygdala protects humans in fight or flight, is what they're told. I say it doesn't. It never protects them, it's protecting you all the time. But there's not a fight or flight. There's just fight. For example, if somebody pisses you off, you may walk away, and you're like, "Oh, that's flight. I'm walking away." But as you're walking away, you're calling them all types of names, wishing them ill will, etc. That's the amygdala. That was a form of fighting, walking away. 30 people walk up to you and call you a little, bitch punk, and we're going to kick your ass. Do you stand there and fight? No, you're like, well, I think I'm not going to get my ass kicked today. I'm turning around and go, those motherfuckers are crazy. I'm still fighting. I'm protecting myself, and I'm calling them crazy. Okay. And everything we own. Okay, that's everything. And this includes all conclusive files. So whatever you have, you own it. For example, if you want to take the challenge, tell me something that you own, and let me think of me attacking it, and tell me how you're going to protect it. That's your amygdala that's doing that. So now I want to talk to you about my girl back here, Caroline and Baby Tears. She says, I can't wait to hear it. By the way, 3 hours ago, my amygdala went in overdrive last night when a friend disagreed with me. All right, so this would be disagreeing with you. So your amygdala, and I've got the same situation where I have a friend that disagrees with me on a couple of things, and it hurts. As a part of the question details up there, the data says last night a friend. She didn't say a person, a friend. So it hurts more when a friend disagrees with you. Not if you open it up for discussion. For example, you say, "Look, I want to get your opinion on this. Am I wrong?" And then that opens it up for the person to say something negative towards you because you want to know if you're wrong or not. You're telling them, tell me, give me your opinion. But if you need their support and they go against you, well, then that's not their support. Then that's a different level, especially if you know that you're right. All right. And I'll put that there. And then I put the response back. They cannot understand how 2 + 2 = 4. And then it became personal because you had a file. This person will be on your side. Remember, you have to give them data that only comes to the same conclusion. So if I want to control you, the narrative, I know how to do it. That's why all my videos, for example, I know how to just not do the negative side saying, well, could this work? Positive side of Rush. I know how to not put that there. But that's not how I work. I give all the data. Excuse me, I had to belch. I didn't want you guys to hear that. but you heard it in terms. So I play, neutrally. I need to play all sides. I need to see, did Rush do wrong? Could he have done wrong? Did he? Only thing I could find wrong is his testing. His testing his testing and not having auto reset and not hiring experts in the field, especially with the experimental sub. Not experts in the field, not one-offers like the electrician or other people, or even that negative comment, or even hiring the guy to shoot him. He was not an expert. All right? He was not an expert. He was a professional in a specific sub or whatever subs he had. He was professional with that. If he even was a professional one, I don't know. If he brought him in from Scotland. So I didn't really dive into his background, but we sure could do a video of that and put some data here on his background and decide whether we're going to see if he's an expert or just a professional. Professional just does something for a living, right? An expert can tell you more ins and outs and knows that he or she knows that they really are not an expert once they realize that they still have more to learn. So they may be considered an expert, but a true expert knows that we're not there yet. I still have more to learn. There's more diving we can do into this. Now, maybe you're an expert paperclip maker, all right? So that door might be closed, 2 + 2 = 4 type thing. There's paperclip and that's it. This type of paperclip. I'm an expert in making the paperclip out of this metal. That's what we can do the best. I can tell you where it's going to break every single time out, etc. I tell you what heat you need, how fast the bend has to be, how the machine has to operate, how the paperclip really has a... Paperclips aren't as simple as you may think. All right? So paperclips aren't as simple as you may think. This is compression on this side when it's made, tension on that side. So if we were to look at this microscopically, we would see some tears over here. This would be elongated. And then we start to see a gradation of tears if we could see it, and then a greater tear back here and compression on this side. Same thing here, a sharp turn. So it would be a compression here and a ripping and microscopic tear there. Here where it shears off the ends, we would see it probably now becoming narrower at the ends. So paper clips are, everything is, you're not an expert on everything unless I can tell me about a paper clip. Tell me how it has compression and tension issues inside its design. That's it. And so it's the radius. So it's not as simple as it may look. Now, let's, a forensic, okay, right, it's me. So true, her stomach ached, all right, all night. And why did it ache? Well, let's look at my reply that I haven't posted yet. Okay. It's a temporary insanity we have, I call it. The amygdala takes over, a.k.a. anxiety, also known as anxiety. What is anxiety? Anxiety is you keep running the data. It comes to the same conclusive file. The conclusive file you come to is not like, yeah, you did win $1 million. No, it's like, oh, this data shows that, oh, your friend is deceiving you or lying to you, etc. You're being cheated on every time and when you run it, because it hurts, the amygdala hurts. It hurts you. To protect you, the amygdala says, petty bitch, the amygdala says, I must protect the human. Run the data again. So you run the data again, and the amygdala won't let you lie to yourself, and sometimes it will. Sometimes it will temporarily. And so it means you forget, you block out it ever happened. That's your amygdala protecting you still. That's happened to me twice in my life, I'll share with you, with 2 deaths. Each one was a close friend, and when they died, I didn't know who they were. People came to me giving me all these condolences twice. I didn't know. I didn't know who they were. My amygdala instantly protected me by deleting this person, the data, because it was so painful what they just said. And people were coming to me all day. I'm like, who the F are you talking about? I'm getting mad at people coming to me, giving me my condolences. And it happened twice. That was many years ago when I was a younger lad. And it took hours. Well, for the first one, it took about 3 hours. Then I went away and went to a private spot and cried my ass off. Bawled my ass off. Second one, condolences. But that took about an hour when it finally hit me. And wow, it hit me like a train. It's a young kid. Hit me like a train on that one, because I theorized what happened. And he must have thought he was playing with me, playing chicken, because I travel this road. And he played chicken with a car. And drifting over the road is what they just said. He just drifted over the road. And what he impacted was the same thing that, okay. So I initially put myself through college or whatever. I drove a school bus. And he was a pain initially, and the boy just grew to love me, and good kid. And so this one day, he doesn't catch the bus. His mother said, "Oh, he took the car when I went to his house." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, he died that morning. He took the car. Another bus was coming before me, way before my time. He was getting, because I did a different route that day by chance. And, yeah, they collided. He's too young to know that, you get back to the right. And the bus driver was too stupid also, saying, "You go to the right, go to the right." Well, the bus driver went to the left, and he went to the right again to recover, as you're supposed to, and impacted the bus going to the left instead of the bus going to the right. You always go to the right, because the person when you figure they're going to recover. When they recover, they quickly turn to the right, back to track, on their track. The bus driver went left, and that was that. All right, so I soon stopped driving a bus. Soon thereafter, after that, that was done. So you see that one. So now we go to, and when they told me kids were getting on a bus, I'll say X person died today. And I'm like, "Who's that?" Instantly, I was like, "Who's that?" And they all looked at me like I was crazy. All the kids getting on the bus, because I used to make him sit right behind me, because he was sort of a naughty kid, if you will. I used to make him sit behind me. And then he would chat me up while I'm trying to drive. No problem, I could do that. So finally I gave him his rein. Go back there. You're harmless. Go back, do what you want to do. Nope. Week after week, he would sit right up there with me at that bus and just talk to me. I would go to his football games, watch him play football, and tore me apart when when they said he died. My amygdala protected me and wouldn't let me know he was dead. Even though they were telling me, it wouldn't do it. So that's the one where the amygdala can temporarily say it never happened. Don't know what you're talking about. That took about an hour, because near the end of that bus, dropping kids off, there's only a few kids left. I finally told them that I realized who he is and the pain I had. And, all right, so I told him, okay, I don't know what happened. I didn't know what happened back then. I didn't know. But now, in hindsight, I know now what happened. My amygdala was protecting me on both of the painful events. But not permanently. It finally let it come in. Okay. So it's temporary insanity, anxiety. Anxiety is you don't like the answer, so you run the data again. But the pain I got was so great, it said, "Nope, we're just letting you run that some person died, but we're not going to tell you over here your conclusive file of how much you cared for that person. We're not going to show you that. That pain, nope, it's instant. I didn't have like a tear and then shut it down. Nothing, zero, nothing each time. Instant. So that's why I always state this, that everything you get, the first thing it goes through, everything you get, it first goes through the amygdala. It's actually first on all data protecting you and everything. So if you smell smoke, it's the amygdala first decides what's going to fight or flight. It gets it first. How do I prove that for you? You ever watch a scary movie? You know you're watching a movie. All of a sudden, out comes the knife, right towards the screen. What do? You jump back and start running, or jump back in the couch. That's your amygdala protecting the human from that knife. It didn't have time to process the data saying, oh, we're watching a movie. It's a scary movie. The guy obviously had a knife was coming. We knew it was coming, so no scare there. No, the amygdala protects the person all the time. So it didn't have time to process. It was a movie. It made you jump back, and then it goes to the frontal cortex information and says, gotcha. And then you might call the movie a name. You might go, you motherfuckers, because they made you jump back in the couch. One of my friends who died, he used to run all the way to the front door before he would catch on. The data would catch on. That's a friggin' movie. I was like, come on, man. Anyway, so going back to this, PTSD is the same thing. PTSD is you're running the data, coming back to the same conclusive file. It's painful. You don't like that answer, and so you run the data again. So PTSD, for like military reasons or any reason you have PTSD, guess what you do to resolve this? Don't run the fucking data. When your conclusive file comes back, accept it as a shitty answer. It's a shitty answer. You got the shit card conclusive file. Yes, your wife is cheating on you. Yes, your husband's cheating on you. Yes, this person's going to die. Don't run the data again. It's the answer. If you run it once or twice, that's it. Accept it. And now it's time for you to accept it and move on. But every time you run that data, remember it's going to be painful. And then the amygdala is going to try to protect you, and it's going to make you run the data again, and then it's going to be painful. And then the amygdala is going to protect you, and there's your anxiety. There's your cycle. So Tears up here has a friend. So the friend goes up here on the conclusive file. This is a friend. A friend shouldn't do this to you. And run the data again, and yes, the friend keep coming back with the friend did burn you. All right. And you keep getting the same results. Let's go back here. The results hurts. It hurts. And the amygdala protects you. It says, run it again. And it comes to the same truthful answer. The amygdala usually doesn't like lying to you. It will block you like I showed you it did for me. But doesn't like lying to you. It will free you up. Which is not logical. And you run it again and again. Time for you to hit the delete button is what I state. Or partial delete on that person being part of your lease. Remember, a lease is your life. This is our life. I'm sharing with you my lease right now, my data. Incidentally, this is the only thing I want to be known for. I could care less about my engineering, short of maybe compression and tension type things. So simple. And engineering, so simple if you just think of that. Keep things in equilibrium. It's simple. It's not all that math. It's just testing, load testing, and observation. This is what I want to be known for, my amygdala theory. This is it. This is it. This resolves all your problems. So if why you don't like your wife leaving you, or your husband leaving you, or your boyfriend leaving you, etc. Why? Because you think you own them. Once you make a new file that says you don't own them, they have a right to leave. You make that conclusive file over here. You will accept them leaving. And the best thing you can do for your mental health is to attack back, because the amygdala only knows attack. It doesn't know run. Is to ghost them. Pretend like they don't fucking exist. Ghost the shit out of them. And because they're leaving, you accept it. And you tried, gave them new data. You give them new data, because the only way to change somebody's mind is to give them new data. And if they run the new data truthfully, they'll come to the answer that you may like them to come to, or the answer that you both can agree on. It's an agreeable situation. And if you can't come to this agreeable situation, you have to accept that the conclusive file that one or both of you have is this isn't going to work. And yes, you have to accept that we got 10 years, 12 years, 25 years, whatever it is. And the best mental thing you can do is just ghost it. It's a new part of your chapter in your life, new chapter in your lease that's limited. Back to the lease. We all have a lease on life. It's about 100 years. The last 10 suck ass. So if you make it to 90, you're counting down to 100. And you're going to be, fragile, if you will. It won't be your best 100, but you can make it your best 100 however you look at it. You can make it enjoyable. But when you're down to, as a lot of people say, oh, I can't wait to die, it's over with. And it usually takes about 3 years to die then. But it's your lease, all right? And no matter, you have to consider whoever's in your lease, no matter how long and invested time you have in them, you have to consider that you can partially delete them from there, so you'll never have the discussion again. Now, if they bring it up and start saying, oh, I remember when you did this, and you ask them not to bring that up again because it's only going to trigger you and bring you into that situation. And they don't respect your side of it. For example, that I have a friend like that keeps coming up with a different version of the events that took place in the history of my life. And he keeps saying his version of it, which he wasn't part of. He only knows one side of it. And my side is thrown in the trash. So he only knows his side. He's made his conclusive file. So that part I deleted. Like, we will no longer have this discussion about that part you find fascinating to keep bringing up. And I don't find it fascinating to bring up because I have all the data. You have a partial bit of data, and you've made a conclusive file that's actually biased against me. It may be funny in your mind in a joke, but as she said, it's a friend. So I don't find it as a joke, no more than I could attack him back and do the same to him. I've got plenty of, stories that he's told. I could clearly pick one of his stories and go, haha, nope, I believe the other person. Oh man, I remember when you used to tell me that, I could get him back and say, I remember when you said that story, man, you were so full of it. And he doesn't do it that way, but I could clearly do that back. That's not my style. And incidentally, I do know the facts on the other side of his story that would be quite painful. So I won't bring that up as a retaliation to him because he can't handle it because he's made amygdala protect him by denying this conclusive file. He has this data, blows off the conclusive file that's true, and doesn't make it. He's made it one time in his entire life to me. One time, slip up, said it once. Okay. Never called him out on it again. But then when he presents it to other people, he gives us different conclusive file. But I know that this one is true. That it's counter. The conclusive file he gives to other people or just isn't protecting himself amygdala-wise. And this conclusive file he gives here is a lie that he tells them to protect himself. So you can lie to protect the human. The human can lie to protect the human, you. So that lie can do that. And you won't lie to somebody that's going to be square with you. If they're going to be square with you, you might tell them the truth. Yeah, I made this mistake. Oh, yeah, that was one of my regrettable incidences in my life. Things like that. That's the person that respects you and knows that things happen. We all have them. But the person that uses as a dart and throws it into your chest whenever they want to, that is a person that needs to be permanently deleted or temporarily deleted from your life. Somebody throwing darts at your chest, using you as a dartboard in a conversation with them as a part of their reply, is sort of like the two gender people, saying, they like to call people racist. If you start arguing about gender, somehow you become a racist. So these are people you want to exclude. All right, let's go. The dart throwers. All right, so let me write that. The dart throwers, you need a limit. So I'm going to put quotes there. Dart thrower and throwers. You need to limit and or exclude. All right. So these people need to be. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, that makes sense because there's the color. Even though I don't like the dark, this is my pettiness. I don't like this contrast. I wanted something different, so I'm trying to teach myself it's okay. Don't be so petty, bitch. It's okay. Don't be so petty about spelling. You get the point. This isn't a dart. All right. It's a stand-in dart. We know it's a damn green arrow. Okay, back to all right. So, time for you to hit the delete or partial delete on that person being part of your leaves. All right. And that's considering that the person here, Tears, being in the medical profession, her mafia name is Tears, guys. So if you're new to the channel over here on this side, if you want a mafia name, keep talking. I'll give you one if you ask for one. Since medical profession, we know that they give you a lot of pain. They give you tears. You go in there with a broken arm. They grab hold of your broken arm, twist it all the fuck up and say, does that hurt? And you're screaming and tears coming out. You're like, yeah, yeah, damn right it hurts. So Caroline, being a medical professional, gives people tears. And of course, it's just amazing, right? So she has a good sense of humor about it. So if you want your mafia name, I can give you one. You just got to just tell me to give you one. And I'll keep chatting long enough and I'll come up with something for you. Or if you tell me a little bit about your personality, I'll give you one. Catwoman, she made her own mafia name basically. She's Catwoman. But if she was the mafia person, what would Catwoman be? Catwoman would be the two-story person. She does, like, we need to rob that location. Everybody thinks, well, get Catwoman to do it. She climbs up those damn walls and jumps from trees and shit like that. She'll break into that place and get that and get it. So that's Catwoman's job. So there you go. So if you want your little mafia name, let me know for fun. It's shits and giggles, right? All right. My Subsea guy's over here. I'd love to, if he outs himself, I'd love to give him a mafia name. Because I got enough character behind him that I could come up with quite a few for my Subsea engineer that's over here in the room. I could come up with quite a few, especially with the images you sent me. Oh yeah, and it all ends with not nice. You're not like Huggles. Goes around hugging people all the time. That's Huggles, and everybody tries to get rid of Huggles. No, I don't know about Huggles. I don't have a Huggles in the room yet. All right, so time for delete button, right? So some people just make our lease miserable. That's your lease, remember? And the best thing to do is to run that data with the question of, is this person worth being in my life's lease? So this ends this video with that about, and I will share, since I want to share the video, but just communication-wise, Georgie's lying next to me on the table, big-ass table I have. He's a paperwork expert. He shuffles the paper, so if I have them in order, he's a card dealer. He can shuffle them where I can spend an hour trying to figure out where the hell these papers go. And there's no end to it, because if I leave the door open, he gets up there and moves it around. All right, so this is the short version of this. This is all I really want to be known for, because this will help you with everything in your life, from your girlfriend troubles, boyfriend troubles, etc. If you want to manipulate somebody, you have to give them data, but you'd have to hold it strong all the time. It would become part of your personality. So if you want to win that person over, you would figure out what data they like, for example, and you would match it. You would mirror it. It's psychology. It would be mirroring, and it's disgusting. But you would mirror them, and you would mirror whatever they wanted. So finally they make a conclusive file. This person is great. I really like them. And then they've now hooked themselves onto you. But if you start dialing it back and letting your true colors show, if you will, because you don't like a few things that you're pretending you like, because the amygdala won't let you pretend but for so long. If you had a goal to just go to bed with them, for example, and you're going to mirror them and do all this fake data, giving them fake data, it will end, because the amygdala will slowly say, well, I really don't like that. Well, I really don't like that. I thought I did, but I really don't like it. That's your amygdala protecting your you're lying, making you honest again. This person runs the new data and says, well, you know what? I really don't like this person. What a waste. They lied to me. So it always comes out in the wash. So honesty is one of the better policies in a relationship. And at work, fuck work. They're manipulative fucks. You got to remember that they are a manipulative fuck. So at work, you're going to have all bets are off. It's a different dynamic. Their job is to manipulate you. So you have to do your best to give them data that makes them make conclusive files where you want them to be. So if you want to get a promotion, you keep giving them data. First, you find out who the person's doing the promotion is. See how they promote. Find out how they promote, who they've promoted. Check out the people's personality. If you can mirror that for a little bit, they promote you, then you can show your true colors and come back to whomever you are. But that would be just a temporary strategy to get you their promotion, and then the next step up, manipulate the next supervisor the same way. They promote who they mostly do not argue with. A person that gets argue is attacking you, and you will not promote them. So don't argue with your supervisor, or you will give them conclusive files. Shit, every time I talk to Kai, an argument comes about. Fuck him. I'm never going to put him up or promote him. It's always going to be a drama. So this is also how it works. Finally, back to the sub. I'm just giving you data. Each piece of data, we make a conclusive file. We have tons of conclusive files, don't we, over the sub? Absolutely tons of it. Some of it is corrupted conclusive files. For example, my 8-minute video got cut off, so I would have said a lot more that would have cleaned up a lot of that 8-minute video. But because pricks want 8-minute videos, and now not one spoke up, if you notice, on my side, George is making a post on the keyboard. Hey, George. Why don't you say hi, George? He's very quiet. He's right by the mic now. So, the one, I think it was a female, she said, I sent you the money to I put my money where my mouth is, to shut me up. Remember I said, if you want to shut me up with my cats, decat the channel, pay. And so I went to check the PayPal. Nope. She didn't send a dime. I went back to find her comment. She deleted it. So these people are just troublesome. They just need to be deleted. I've been deleting people more than they've been more than a little bit with my delete strategy, and it's the best thing to do. Don't get into battles, arguments with them. Just delete. Now there is that's George scratching, moving papers now. I wish I could show you. Can you hear it? That's him. He had to turn the mic back around. He had to adjust some papers. Okay, so this is the short version. This amygdala theory is pretty deep. I've gone to psychiatrists about this. I've paid their fees, told them about this. I paid for the Piper. I've paid psychologists, psychiatrists, all on this, all to see if they could debunk me. Paid the money. Had to go to one guy, 3 sessions. He took me for about $600. And he could not. We went battle left and right on this. And he could not beat this down. And that was it. I called it a day. Sorry, guys. Shit. That's kind of perfect timing. Yeah, I'm going to get back to that. So I paid the Piper on that. I challenge anybody to tell me where this doesn't fit in their life. Where this doesn't fit in your life, I challenge you to tell me, including if you believe that you're a carrot, that you've made that conclusive file from data, and tell me where you got the conclusive file, your data that you can be a carrot. You got it from teachers, bad schooling, not enough support from, and pushing from the narrative. It's a longer discussion. It would be each individual having to be honest. And these people can't take questioning because they were given the data, never taught logically how to arrive at that data. They just are told that, that you can just make up agenda based on whatever you believe. But it's a construct is a military thing. It's a construct. Well, I'm going to leave that alone. All right. Cheers to tears. And hopefully you guys will get something from this. Again, this is the only thing I want to be known for. This right here will change everything. You'll need to go to no psychiatrist. Tears can run this in this video right here, and all you guys, all your problems, you can run it right here. Everything I said, including my own personal stuff, it will all fall into this cycle. All right, everything. Your pain of you worried about your cat dying or your dog dying or your mother dying, it falls under here. You don't want the pain. You don't want it to end, and you can't accept it. It's painful, stressful, and you run it again. The pain of your own death. The knowing your own death is too painful. So you run it again. Well, can we live forever? Is there medicine? What if I eat healthier? Just live your lease. It's a life's lease. We're not going to be here, all right? Guaranteed, like every other living creature. This is a fact. And you're not taught this to respect this good enough. Especially with, I'm going to leave it alone, hanging up. Love you guys. Thanks for your support. And again, tell me if you want a mafia name. I'm going to watch you a bit, and then I'll give you one. And I might change it. But, like if Tears told me, yeah, 9 out of 10 of my patients died, well, she wouldn't be called Tears, would she? She'd be called Killer. You know the one percenter? You know how I'd call it a one percenter. All right, Tears, you might like this. One percenters, and people you guys don't know, motorcyclists that believe they killed somebody, and so they gave that patch that says one percenter on it. And they're 1% of the bikers that are hard ass that actually killed somebody, and so you get to wear the patch. Well, Tears has a rate of 1% of her people living, so she's the opposite. She'd be the one percenter. That I'm a one percenter. Yeah, only 1% of my patients live. So anyway, Tears, how about that one? Or how about something cute? Something like 1% of the patients appreciate my fucking hard work that I do for them. So I'm a one percenter. That means 99% of the people don't give a fuck about me. All they do is think I overcharge and I go too fast to a patient and everything else. You can come up with your own name like that. And you can also, you guys out there, if you got jobs and you not appreciate it, you can come up with your mafia name. Better than that, you tell me what your mafia name would be based on how you're treated in your life. And it can be, and be honest with it over here. If anybody bullies you over here, we'll have fun with them and troll them back on why they think that they can now bully you. So put it up there, what you think your mafia name would be. Mine would be, I have a good one for that. Mine is, you get arrested by the cops. And cop says, hey, what's your AKA? What you known as? Also known as? I said, yeah, they call me snitches. What? Yeah, they call me snitches. I said, well, okay. He puts it down. He says, all right, you got any other aliases? Yeah, they call me witness for the state. So that's my mafia name. And wait a minute. You got any other aliases? Yeah, they call me Tattles. You can imagine how long I would last. All right, love you guys. That's one of my favorite jokes I tell contractors when I go, yeah, I got a mafia name. And they go, what's that, man? I said, they call me Tattles. What? Snitches, man. They call me snitches. And witness for the state. All right, love you guys. Have fun with it. All right, have fun, then make up. Have fun in your life. All right, this is your lease. Have fun. This channel's just not all about should be all serious. Have some fun. If you see somebody trolling me over there and you see the comments, please troll. Harass them back. If their intent is to harass the me. So if you guys want to support me, you can harass them back. And I don't mean the same level of harassment, like if they're saying. So not really harassing. I'm not saying conspiracy to harass. So we can't say harass. We can say troll them back. With their troll. Trolling is, I guess, a form of mental harassment, isn't it? So let's just leave that out then. I'll just delete the fuckers. All right.